This video is brought to you by SCD Keys Halloween sale, where they have a ton of discounts on a wide variety of games and software. Deals include Windows 10, Office, and more, seeing steep discounts, and using the code CM1 will offer you additional discounts. Of course, they also have deals on games as well, including titles such as PUBG, Ark Survival Evolved, and more, and with the code CM2 you'll save an additional 3% on games. Not only that, SCD Keys is giving out 100 Halloween gifts every day, and all customers will have a chance to get a game key or a promotional code during the event. On top of the SCD Key Halloween sale, they generally have pretty good deals across all games and software, and remember to use both the promo codes in CM1 and CM2 to get additional savings. All the information will be in the description box down below, so check that out, and now onto the video. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Got a couple of things to talk about in this video, including a crazy Fallout 76 PC beta bug that's been going around. The Fallout 76 PC beta just went live. I actually went in. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to try out the first session of that. Was a bit busy. I'm planning on trying it very soon, but I saw reports of a crazy bug going around, and I had to talk about this. And even the official Fallout Twitter account brought attention to it. And on top of that, we've got a pair of system requirements revealed for two of the most anticipated games for the rest of the year in Battlefield 5 and Just Cause 4, so I want to take a look at both of those, but we'll talk about that after we talk Fallout 76. So the PC beta just went live. If you pre-ordered the game, you will have access to the beta, and it's available in windows of time, usually for roughly 4 hours, and the first session was yesterday. I believe it ran from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. However, that's not what I want to talk about. The fact is, there's a crazy bug going around where people are downloading Fallout 76, and then the game is randomly deleting itself from their computer, and then you have to re-download the entire game. This is from the official Fallout 76 Twitter account, quote, "We are actively investigating an issue causing PC players to re-download the Fallout 76 beta. If you see a progress bar, please allow the download to complete. Thank you for your continued patience while we work to resolve this issue." I've seen a lot of people over on Reddit having this issue, and thank God that this is just the beta, but still, given the fact that this is a beta running 2 weeks before the official launch of the game, it's still a little bit worrying nonetheless. Hopefully they can remedy all these issues headed into the launch, but I've been saying from the get-go, Fallout 76 has some real potential to be an absolute train wreck, and here are the reasons. First of all, this isn't a game that's being released on Steam, and an issue like this, where a game is deleting itself, I feel like that's directly tied to something Bethesda did on their end, and maybe if the game was available on Steam, this wouldn't be an issue. Now, I can't say that as factual, but that's just something to note. On top of that, as we know, big Bethesda games like these big open world games generally are already technical nightmares. However, this one's also throwing in that multiplayer layer, and on PC, I could see an absolute train wreck awaiting us on November 14th. Now, of course, they're running this beta, but they only have 2 weeks to remedy all these issues when it's live all the time. I'm just really worried about this game. I know a lot of you guys are already worried. I know a lot of people in the comment sections of my videos have already voiced that they are not planning on buying this game. I think there still will be a general appetite for the game because it is a new Fallout game. It's adding that layer of multiplayer, which I think is something that a portion of the Fallout community wants, and I think they are super enticed by it. But if you were the kind of gamer that you were just pleased with your single player Fallout experience and you just wanted to mod the hell out of it and have a great PC experience on it, even with a couple of bugs, then I really don't know if Fallout 76 is gonna be the game for you. It's not gonna have mod support from the get-go. There are already some issues with the beta, and this is just a weird issue that I can't wrap my head around. And I've said it from the get-go, I am very skeptical about this game, but we shall see. Let's see how the beta continues. I wouldn't buy this game day one, but down the line, if everything works out, if mods are good to go, if the private servers work really well, then maybe down the line Fallout 76 will be a good buy. But right now, I just think as a launch pickup, Fallout 76 might not be the go-to game. And it's also worrying because it's on Bethesda platforms. I don't know how typical Bethesda runs sales on their games, but hopefully they do run it typically. As Fallout 4, it didn't take all too long for that game to see some discounts on Steam. And hey, maybe a year down the line, they'll launch Fallout 76 on Steam too. I can't completely write that off. I don't believe ESO was released on Steam from the get-go, but it did find its way over to Steam over time, so maybe we'll see that here as well. Expect me to cover this more in depth. I plan on recording some footage of it as well when I can get into one of the beta windows, so stay on the lookout for that. But let me know if you guys have faced this issue, just such a weird issue. The game literally deleting itself, and then you have to re-download the entire 46 gigabytes. It would be one thing if this beta was a small download and it was 5, 10, or even 15 gigabytes, but no, you have to re-download the entire 46 gigabyte beta. That is just really, really unfortunate. Moving on from that, I quickly want to cover the Battlefield 5 system requirements as well as the Just Cause 4 system requirements. I want to go through the BF5 requirements quick. So this is broken up into 3 tiers. They have minimum system requirements, recommended system requirements, and then recommended PC system requirements for DXR. So let's start things off with the minimum system requirements. Quite hefty. Minimum, you're looking at an AMD FX 8350 or an Intel Core i5 6600K. That's pretty insane. 8GB of RAM at the minimum, but the GPU is a little bit on the lower side. An NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 or a 662GB. AMD side, you're looking at a 560 or an HD 7850. Recommended requirements have it pegged at an AMD Ryzen 3 1300X or an Intel Core i7 4790. Now figure that one out, a 1300X versus an i7 4790. However, that's still pretty insane. Recommended RAM requirement is 12GB. Recommended GPU requirement on the NVIDIA side is a GTX 1066GB, and on the AMD side is an RX 580 8GB. And lastly, recommended PC system requirements for DXR have it pegged at an AMD Ryzen 7 2700 and Intel Core i7 8700. RAM requirement for that is 16GB, and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 is the recommended GPU. Of course, no AMD support there. A ray tracing compatible video card will be needed, and available disk space is pegged at around 50GB. Expect that to fluctuate a little bit as more downloads are released, especially with Firestorm coming early 2019, but 50GB is what they have listed for now. Also, the Just Cause 4 PC system requirements have been listed. This game just went gold, meaning that it's a finished product and it is good to go for December 4th. Minimum requirements for Just Cause 4 have an Intel Core i5 2400 at 3.1GHz or an AMD FX 6300 at 3.5GHz, 8GB of RAM, and then a GTX 760 or an R9 270. On the recommended side of things, you are looking at an Intel Core i7 4770 3.4GHz, a Ryzen 5 1600 3.2GHz on the AMD side, 16GB of recommended RAM, and on the GPU side, quite hefty at an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 or a Radeon RX Vega 56. Now, this is a game where I am very worried about how it's going to run. Just Cause 3 was a technical nightmare, at least initially on PC. It did get better over time, but even up to this point in 2018, 3 years after release, it's not perfect, and that game just ran very poorly across all platforms. PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I played that game on PS4 and it was an absolute train wreck. We're talking consistently under 30 FPS, and sometimes you're hitting that 14 FPS range. That was back at launch. Again, it's gotten better across all platforms, but it's still not perfect. Hopefully with Just Cause 4, they deliver something far, far better. But that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, a crazy Fallout 76 PC beta bug. The game is getting deleted from gamers' PCs, and you have to re-download it. Bethesda is actively looking at the issue, so hopefully that'll get fixed very soon. And we got the system requirements for BF5 and Just Cause 4. I know you guys are pretty excited for those two games. I know that might vary from person to person, but hey, I think at the very least you can find some excitement out of one of those two games. That's gonna conclude this one. If you guys have a request for a future video, leave it in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.